Hi, this is Jeff McQuillan coming to you from beautiful Los Angeles, California, and we are giving you another episode of English with your coffee. Good coffee. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some news stories in the newspaper. I get lots of newspapers delivered to my house. They come right to my doorstep, and I pick them up in the morning and I read them. That's how you read the newspaper. We're going to talk about one story that was in the Wall Street Journal, which is the financial newspaper, a financial newspaper here in the United States. And the big headline this morning was the following: Tech giants prepare to skirt H1B fee. And that's the headline right there. So what is all this about? Well, tech stands for technology. You probably knew. A giant is something or someone who is very large, very tall, or huge. Technology giant refers to a big company, companies like Google and Apple and X and, well, all sorts of big companies, Meta, Facebook. Those are tech giants. Now, these tech giants, according to the headline, are preparing, getting ready to skirt a certain kind of fee. To skirt means to avoid, to not have to, in this case, pay. What don't they have to pay? Well, they don't want to pay a certain fee. A fee is usually something that the government charges you in order to do something. So, for example, when you get a driver's license here in California, you have to pay a fee. You have to pay the government a certain amount of money. I don't know how much it is, $50, $100. It's been a long time since I've had got my driver's license. So that's a fee. Well, there's a fee in the United States for certain kinds of visas. In this case, it's a work visa. It's permission to work in the United States. And there's one particular kind of visa called an H1B visa. Now, this is a visa used by many technology companies, many companies that allow them to get people from other countries to come to the United States to work at their company for a specific job. Now, the idea of these visas is that they're for jobs that the companies can't find anyone else here in the United States, an American or an American resident with permission to work, to take that job. So the idea is that, well, we'll find somebody from another country to come and take that job. Now, this is a very controversial program, especially recently, with the U.S. government restricting or having fewer and fewer immigrants come to this country under our current president, President Trump. So the H-1B visa is going to have this fee, this expense that companies have to pay. Now, they always had to pay a certain amount of money, but now that fee has gone up dramatically, has gone up a great deal. It's going to be $100,000 per visa. Well, of course, big companies don't want to pay that. No company wants to pay that. And so these companies, according to the article in the Wall Street Journal, are going to be looking for other ways of avoiding to pay that fee. That's why it says they're preparing to skirt the fee. Now, the word skirt has a couple of meanings. One meaning is to avoid as a verb. That's not the most common meaning. The most common meaning of skirt would be as a noun, and that would be something that a woman typically would wear. It's something that a woman wears that usually goes down, well, we hope it goes down far enough to cover the front of and back of her body. You could have a mini skirt, which would be a very short skirt, or you could have a long skirt that would go down to your ankles. In any case, we're not talking about mini skirts. We're talking about skirting fees, and that's what U.S. technology companies, like all companies, are trying to save money, and they're trying to avoid paying those fees. If you want to improve your English, go to our website at ESLPod.com for more information about some of our courses. That's all for today. From beautiful Los Angeles, California, I am Jeff McQuillan. Thanks for watching.